Of this video is to provide you with a quick overview of the sales leads process in DataTill. To find the sales leads process, go to the sales heading and then click on sales leads. On this screen, you will see the process here, and you can also choose whether you would like to see all leads or just leads that are assigned to you. In the process, we have leads, surveys, quotes, customers, job cards, invoicing, quality control, and ratings. Under each of these headings, you have new and active. New meaning we still need to work on it, and active meaning it has been assigned or the job has been scheduled, but someone has started working on it. New leads can come in 3 different ways. 1. The customer can send an email to your sales email address. 2. The customer can submit an online application form on your website. Or 3. You can manually capture a new lead. When manually capturing a new lead, you will need to complete the following details. All fields marked in red are compulsory fields. You can choose whether this is a new customer or an existing customer. If it is an existing customer, choose the customer from the list here. You can also choose whether this is an individual or a company. Continue to complete your customer's details. When entering the street address, or when entering the address, you need to complete the street address and the suburb. If you click on the Show on Map button, the rest of the details will automatically be populated, and a pin will pinpoint the customer's address on the map. You can also enter a lead source to say where the customer heard about your company, and you can also add additional comments to state what the customer would like. After completing the details, click on the Submit button. All leads found under New means the lead still needs to be assigned to a sales agent. After the lead has been assigned to a sales agent, it will move to Active. The sales agent will now need to determine whether a site survey is required or not. If a site survey is required, it will move from Leads Active to Surveys New. If no site survey is required, it will move from Leads Active to Quotes New. After making the decision, click on Submit Survey. Under Survey New, we have all the leads that still need to be scheduled for surveys. To do this, click on the green button, select your event date, give your event a title, choose the applicable calendar, choose your teams, and click on Add Event. If you would like, you can enter a time, but this is not a compulsory field. After scheduling your event, add any additional comments if necessary, and then click on Schedule Survey. The survey has now moved from New to Active. Under our active surveys, we are now waiting for feedback from our installers. To complete the survey, click on the Survey button. Was the site survey performed? Yes. Was it a success or a failure? If it was a success, add your additional comments. For example, any additional equipment that you might need. Choose the high site the customer will be connecting to, and then say Complete Survey. The survey has now moved from Active to Quotes New. All quotes under Quotes New are leads that still need quotes to be generated. To do this, click on the Edit button, create your quote, add your product types. You can always add another line, remove a line, or adjust the price. After creating your quote, click on the Create Quote button. You now need to email this quote to the customer. If you need to send it to an additional email address, please add a comma followed by the following or the additional email address. The customer will now receive an email asking them to either accept or reject the quote. If the customer rejects the quote, they need to provide a reason. If the customer accepts the quote, they will be redirected to a page where they need to update their account information, give their ID number, and update their billing information. The billing information will require them to give their debit order details or say whether they want to pay via EFT, credit card, or cash. They will also have the choice to choose how they want to pay their installation invoice and how they want to pay their monthly recurring invoice. If the customer is unable to accept or reject the quote, you can always manually accept or reject the quote by clicking on the green tick mark and then clicking on accept or reject. Once a quote has been emailed, it will move to quotes active. Once the feedback has been received from the customer, it will move from active to customers new. For those customers who have completely disappeared from the face of the earth and never gotten back about whether they would like to accept or reject the quote, those quotes can be found under the called section. Sales agents will occasionally need to check this and phone the customers to follow up on whether the quote needs to be accepted or rejected. Under Customers New, we have all the profiles that now need to be created. To do this, click on the blue button. Compulsory field is the contact name, the mobile number, and the email address. You can still choose whether this is an individual or a company, whether it's a VIP customer or a normal customer. You will see the accounting code is generated from the first 3 letters, followed by 001, 002, 003, etc. You can also still adjust or amend the customer's address details. After completing all the details, click on the Add Customer button. The lead will now move from new to active. The first thing you need to do here is click on this green button. Here you need to ensure that there is a payment method chosen for the customer profile. The customer can either choose debit order, EFT, credit card, or cash. Should you choose credit card, please ensure that you are registered with a credit card vendor like Virtual Card Services, VCS, or SagePay. After choosing the applicable payment method, click on the Save Changes button. The following step will require you to confirm that the payment method has been added. Please remember that if the customer is on debit order, that he should complete the debit order mandate. The lead will now move from Customers Active to Job Cards New. Under Customers, there is an additional heading called Update. The customer will be able to log into their online portal and request updates for their information. They can request an update for their billing details or their account information. As the admin user, you will only need to accept or reject those changes, and those changes will automatically pull through to the customer's profile. Under Job Cards New, we now need to schedule the job for the installation. To do this, click on the little green hand, and this is your job card. You can add checklists here for specific equipment used or things they need to look out for. Schedule your event, give it a title, choose your teams, choose the applicable calendar. If you would like, add a date, add the time, and then click on Add Event. In the case that you are waiting for an upstream provider like Telkom to do a fiber installation, you can place the job card on hold. Enter your comments, for example, waiting on fiber installation from Telkom, and click on Update. If the job card does not need to be placed on hold, Ensure that all these details are correct, add any additional equipment or labor, and then click on Update. The job card will now move from new to active. So your team has come back, they've given you feedback, the job has been completed. Click on the green hand. Ensure that you add any additional products or change prices where necessary, and then click on Complete Job. Each job card can be downloaded and will look similar to this. Your company logo will be here, your job card details, your customer details, your company details, everything that has been listed on the job card with additional space for your installers to write, places for signatures and places to complete the date, and it will also show the total inclusive amount. Mark your job card as complete by clicking on the Complete Job button. Your job card will now move from active to invoicing new. Click on the green hand to see the job card. If you are happy with the job card and everything has been added, click on the Generate Invoice button. Your invoice will now be generated as a draft invoice, meaning this is not the final invoice and you are still able to correct it if need be. You will see your customer reference is your job card number or your job number. You can still change the payment method. You can still add or remove lines and edit the prices. Next, you will need to push the invoice to Sage 1. To do this, go to Billing, Invoices. Here we can see our job card or invoice for our job right at the top. To push this invoice, click on the little gears and then say Generate. Your invoice is now sent to your customer and the invoice is you can no longer edit the invoice. Your invoice is now moved from active to quality control. The quality control consists of a small checklist that needs to be completed. You can set up this checklist according to your needs as a WISP. After completing all the fields on the checklist, click on the Complete button. And that is the end of the lead to receipt process. The lead will now be closed and everything has now been done. All that is left to do is confirm the ratings. Once the job card is marked as complete, an email will be sent to the customer where they need to rate your service. This is an example of what the ratings will look like. You will see the time it was submitted, the customer, the address, contact information, and the total amount of stars the customer has rated you, as well as any additional comments. The customer will need to give comments. They cannot just submit 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 stars. If you are happy with the rating, click on the green tick and acknowledge the rating. Under Rating Acknowledged, we can see there the rating is and we can see who acknowledged the rating. This was a quick overview of the sales workflow in DataTill. If you have any other questions, please do not hesitate to phone our office or go look at our guides on the website.